Hello everyone, I am here today to prove a theory. That theory is that every Thanksgiving pie would be better if it was a cookie. So today, we're going to test that, starting off with pumpkin pie. You're watching Cookie Edit, let's get into it. Okay, so we have to turn this pumpkin pie into a cookie. How are we going to do that? So my first thought here is that the filling has like cinnamon and nutmeg and obviously pumpkin, like a lot of those yummy spices. You can buy pumpkin pie spice. This is what is in here, minus the pumpkin, of course. And then we also have the crust over here. And that's just a pie crust. So what I think I'm going to do to turn this into a cookie is the filling is going to be like pumpkin-y and with a little bit of spices. And then I'm going to put the filling in the middle of like the cookies like I've done in some of my past videos. And then the cookie is going to be, which is really the crust, but I'm going to put like load the cookie up with spices and stuff. So basically here, if you want to think about it like this, on this crust part, is going to be like the outside of the cookie, and that's going to have spices. And then in here is going to be pumpkin and cream cheese, I think. Yeah. Hey everyone, just a little bit of a disclaimer before we get into it. Due to user error on the iOS 26 camera app, I did lose some footage for this video, so that's why some things may look incomplete. Alright, so for our first step, we're going to mix in our pumpkin puree, cream cheese, our pumpkin spice syrup, powdered sugar, and any spices you're using. I apologize for this portion of the video. This is one of the portions that was most affected by, again, I will clarify, user error on the iOS 26 camera app. So just be nice about this part. And for this part, the pumpkin spice syrup is also optional, although it is extremely delicious. Pumpkin spice syrup is also good for a lot of things. I'm currently using it to make a matcha that I'm drinking right now. It is very delicious. I would totally recommend picking up some for fall. Also, tell me in the comments if you'd like to see a pumpkin spice matcha video. Alright, so to make the rest of our cookies, we need the filling firm. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take like a 1 tablespoon cookie scooper, and I'm just going to scoop little chunks onto a plate, and then I'm going to freeze that for about 2 hours. If the filling is starting to stick to your scoop, I would recommend just running it under some water and then scooping. It works perfectly. Alright, next we're going to mix our butter and sugar. This is starting the cookie portion of our recipe. So we're going to do butter, white sugar, and brown sugar. I just put them in the same bowl for this video. I'm using a stand mixer for this one, but if you only have a hand mixer or a wooden spoon, that works great too. Alright, next we're going to add our egg and vanilla extract. Now, for this step, we're going to do flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. All of our dry ingredients. And I'd recommend for this part, when you mix it, start it on a low speed so that flour doesn't fly all over your kitchen. While I was making these cookies, I accidentally turned my mixer on while it was in the position it currently is. I was making the pumpkin cream, and pumpkin cream went all over my shirt and into the kitchen and onto my phone, which I am recording. So for this step, we're going to add our pumpkin spice, nutmeg, and cinnamon. This is what will give us a perfect pumpkin pie taste, because a lot of the flavor in pumpkin pie actually comes from the spices and not the pumpkin. So we need to make sure that this cookie base has a lot of spices. Alright, for this one, we're going to roll out our cookies. I recommend rolling them out pretty thin here. Before you do that, you're going to definitely want to flour your surface. I'm using a cutting board, and also flour your rolling pin. Now, it takes me a while to roll it out normally. I don't do the whole thing on camera. And yeah, I apologize because some shots of this scene did get cut off. But I'll narrate the most important bits. Alright, cutting out our cookies. I like to use just like a glass from my kitchen to do this, but you can really use whatever you want. I apologize that some of these clips have no audio also. My dog was barking almost the whole time I was rolling and cutting these cookies. So yeah, if you're wondering why they don't have audio, that's why. Alright, this is the most complicated step. We're gonna take our pumpkin pie stuff out of the freezer and we're gonna put it on a cookie, or I put it on the cookie. I'm cutting mine in half so that there's just a little bit in the center, and then I press one on, press the edges down, and then I might have done this off camera in this video. I'm not sure. I might have also lost the footage for this. I don't quite know what's happening here. But you're going to want to roll it into a ball shape so that it kind of resembles a cookie. You'll see that in a second when I have the plate. Yeah, so yeah, just go like this for a while. So we're going to freeze them for about 45 minutes, just so that they don't collapse in the oven. Alright, so for step 11, wow, this is a lot of steps. We're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Yep, I just put them on a baking sheet. I just said use one baking sheet for this recipe, but it depends how much you use. Alright, and now they are baked and delicious. And these were so good, like, not lying. I gave these to my family to try, and they were gone in 2 days. You have to try making these. The full recipe will be in the description. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you like this recipe or made it, as we're a small channel trying to grow.